Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Ringo TV Raw. What I want to talk about is a topic that I pretty much shared on my Ringo TV Reactions channel. And the title of that video is Why I No Longer Identify as a Hebrew Israelite. That's right. Why I no longer identify as a Hebrew Israelite. That's right. Um, a lot has transpired over the years, and I realized that I have to move on in my journey with the Most High. I've noticed a lot of racism, a lot of hate from this group. And it's difficult to explain because when you try to explain this, the first thing the cult is going to do is they're going to attack you. They're going to say, you gave up your birthright. You denied the Most High. You denied your faith. These are the things they're going to say. I'm still with the Most High. I still follow the scriptures, still keep the commandments. I recognize the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Messiah, and so forth. At the same time, I don't identify as a Hebrew Israelite because the group, it has a movement behind it. And it took me a while to figure it out, but I had to experience a lot of hate and a lot of evil. And this is something that you can only understand if you've been through it. It's like explaining it is one way. At the same time, if you've been through this, you would know. I'm fully aware of bloodline, who the people of the Most High is. I get all of that. I know this already. At the same time, identifying as a Hebrew Israelite in 2025 is something I no longer do. And the reason for that is it's a cult that have been established. It's not about the people of the Most High coming together because we've been awakened and we truly do want to see the kingdom come and we want our people to unite. It's not about that. It's about hate, violence, racism, calling people the devil. This is typical what you get in the Hebrew Israelite community. They look at the white man, they call him the devil. And, it's something that I noticed when I first came into the truth. It's like a lot of these Hebrew Israelite camps, they would always do that. And I'm like, why so much emphasis on the white man being the devil? Yet in the black community, we're killing one another. So it's like, I just don't get it. It's like, why do we focus on stuff that really is not empowering our people? Instead, we should be focusing on the evildoers in the community and getting rid of those devils. But we're not doing it. Instead, we get people to join this organization, this movement, by creating an enemy. Now, we understand the whole transatlantic slave trade. But at the same time, if you read the scriptures, it didn't say that the white man put you in slavery. It says that the Most High did. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he put the biblical Israelites in slavery, not the white man. He gave power to the other nations to put us in chains because we rebelled against his commandments. So if the children of Israel are to come back to the Most High, the first thing we have to acknowledge is that it's not the white man who put us in slavery. It's the Most High, because we rebelled against his laws, statutes, and commandments. But the Hebrew Israelite community, they don't understand that. They focus on race, and it becomes very difficult to communicate with anybody who is not black because we look at them automatically as racist. Now, of course, there are racists in the world. There are white people that are racist that don't like black people. I get that. At the same time, there are black people in the world that don't like white people. Matter of fact, all ethnic groups of people don't like each other. At the same time, none of that is helping us to get to the kingdom. Knowing who is racist or who don't like each other, that's not getting us to the kingdom. We have to obey the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And what I notice about the Israelite community is they don't practice what the Bible say with their own people. Like, the Messiah, he taught us to love one another. He taught us to pray for one another. We have to acknowledge each other as brothers and sisters in the truth. And I noticed that in the Hebrew community, they don't do this. Like, I personally got attacked because of my video that I post on my Ringo TV Reactions channel entitled Why I No Longer Identify as a Hebrew Israelite. Like, I've been attacked. Like, there's more than 1,000+ comments under the video. And a lot of the members from the cult, they resort to these attacks. It's kind of weird the way these attacks work, because the first thing they do is they say, you gave up your birthright. And they start to compare you to Esau and Jacob. First of all, Esau sold his birthright for a plate of dinner. What exactly did I sell a birthright for? You see? So you got no legs to stand on, because I never sold a birthright. But this is what they're going to do when it comes to attacking your walk. I said I no longer identify as a Hebrew Israelite because we're not talking about bloodline. We're not talking about your tribe and where you come from or your true nationality. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the cult called Hebrew Israelites, because there is a cult, a movement, and it's something that I don't even want to be a part of. And I realized that by identifying as a Hebrew Israelite, you're automatically joining this cult. Even if you feel you're not a part of it, you are in the eyes of the world. Because once you say you're a Hebrew Israelite, what you just said is you're a hate group, that you believe you are the people of the Most High in terms of bloodline. Now, let's talk about that for a little bit. I'm fully aware of what the Bible says about the chosen people of the Most High. I get all of that. I understand that very, very dearly. At the same time, the Israelite community, they're not doing nothing from a grassroots level in terms of making the world recognize them as a people. Instead, they're hiding under rocks by claiming to be Hebrew Israelites, yet there are other groups in the world that claim that they are the chosen people. And I realized that with the Israelite community amongst black people, they're not doing nothing from a political level, social level, to be recognized as a people. And because of this lack of work and action, we as a people have fallen deeper into religion. So what was once an awakening to your bloodline of who you are as a biblical Israelite, it now transcended into a religious cult. That's where it's at right now. And the cult is no longer preaching the gospel. The cult don't show each other love. The cult don't know how to deal with internalized racism. The cult don't know how to deal with internal conflict. It don't know how to deal with none of these issues biblically. Instead, what we've been trained to do is kill one another. I mean, when you look at the black community as a whole, we're killing each other every single day. It's like, it's not really even safe to live amongst black people. Like, if you really be honest with yourself, like, it is way more dangerous to be around black people than white people, because when you're around black people, they're plotting on you, planning on what they're going to steal from you, rob from you, whether or not they're going to kill you, set you up. I mean, it is bad. When compared to white people, you can have a racist around you that don't like black people, but they'll pretty much mind their business as long as you're not bothering them or stealing from them or trespassing on their property. They don't really got nothing to say to you. But when it comes to us, you could be minding your own business and somebody's plotting on you. You can park your car in the black community. Somebody will key your car, crash, dent your car. And you're like, man, who did this? A hater. And these are the type of things that we got to deal with. And it's just unfortunate. Now, for me, my reasoning behind no longer identifying as a Hebrew Israelite is multifaceted. It's like I can literally write a book about it. It's like years and years of being a part of this community, if that's what you want to call it. I noticed that there is no community. We just act religious when it's convenient. We argue with each other. We argue about the name of the Most High. We argue about the Son of the Most High. We have all these different camps. And my videos is not about a camp. Let me just make that very clear, because that's something they do also. When it comes to their attacks, they will accuse you of, I guess, being upset about something regarding a camp. Let me just make this very clear. I've never been in a camp, never followed a camp. I don't associate with camps. Because when I came out of the Christian church, I made a promise to myself never to join any other church, for that matter, because I don't trust any man that has a church, because in my eyes, I would see them just as a Christian, like just trying to make money off the people. That's pretty much it. And that's pretty much how all these camps are. Like all these camps, it's just about making money. It's not really about the Most High. Somewhere along the lines, somebody's getting paid. If you really do your research, somebody's getting paid. So, the lack of love in the community is very, very serious amongst Israelites, primarily. They don't know how to be brothers. They don't know how to be sisters. There's no sistering, no brotherhood, nothing. It's sad. It really is. Because when we study the Most High and we study the scriptures, there's so much in there that teaches us in regards to communication with one another. And I notice in the Hebrew Israelite community, they don't know how to deal with conflict. They don't know how to deal with sin. They don't know how to deal with anything. The only thing we know how to do is argue about doctrine. And I'm like, are we going to argue all day? Like, are we going to fight all day? It doesn't make any sense. And why is it that when you look up Hebrew Israelite, you get all this negative stuff of a cult, and it's a hate group, and there's a lot of racism, and it's like, it's really, really bad. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be associated with none of that. I'm aware of who I am according to the Bible. At the same time, I don't want to be identified as a hate group. That's like, that interferes with business. That interferes with my personal life. That interferes with how I choose to live. It interferes with how I communicate with people. Because if I identify as a Hebrew Israelite, it makes no sense. It's like, that's like a white man saying he identify as a European. It don't make no sense. If we're following the Most High, if we're keeping the commandments, why do I have to identify as a Hebrew Israelite? It don't make sense. That's no different than saying you're a Christian. So it's a religion, but they're going to tell you, no, it's not about religion. It's about your bloodline. If it's about your bloodline, you don't have to keep telling people, well, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. It don't make no sense. That's like you talking to a white man that follow God. What is he supposed to say? That he's a white man who follow God or a Hebrew Israelite? Which one? Because I've seen white people in various Israelite churches identify as Israelites. And I'm like, how could he be an Israelite if he's white? If this is about bloodline, how could you transform the white man now into a Israelite? So I realized that it's not really about bloodline. It's about religion. And that's one thing I don't want to be a part of. I understand everything in regards to bloodline in terms of who we are according to the Bible, in terms of nationality. At the same time, I don't want to be identified with a hate group because, again, it affects my business. It affects my personal life. It affects how I communicate with people because let's say, for example, hypothetically, I'm speaking to a Nigerian family. And a lot of Nigerians, they believe in God, right? So if I'm talking to a Nigerian family and I'm communicating with them and I'm trying to share Jesus with them, I can't just communicate, oh, I'm a biblical Israelite. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. And they're going to be like, what is that? Well, that's my nationality. Okay, well, I'm a believer in God too. Yeah, but you're not of the chosen people. I am because I'm a Hebrew Israelite. You are African. You're a part of, the other nations. And, I'm better than you because I'm a Hebrew. Do you see how the conversation is lost? That's exactly what I mean. So it ruins opportunity to witness to people. It ruins opportunity in terms of communicating with people on a deeper level in terms of speaking truth according to the Bible. If I'm talking to a white man and he's like, oh, do you believe in Jesus Christ? And I'm like, yes, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. That's like a white man saying, yes, I believe in Jesus Christ. I'm Italian. What? It don't make no sense. So all you got to say is you're a believer. You don't have to keep saying I'm a Hebrew Israelite. So I realized that they're using the term Hebrew Israelite in terms of your bloodline interchangeably, but they also turned it into a religious cult. And this cult, ladies and gentlemen, is very, very wicked. Very wicked. And that's why I don't want no parts of it. Not that I'm a part of any camp. I just don't want to be associated with anything in regards to it because, like I said, it just brings negative energy. And I don't want that kind of negative energy following me around, especially when I'm not in no cult or in a camp. But people tend to associate you with all sorts of negative things. Like I noticed there have been times where I'll do a video and my video is in good spirits. I'm trying to edify the people and I'm like, well, I'm an Israelite. And it's like once I say that, people automatically look at me as a racist, a hate group. And I'm like, you don't even know me. Why would you just judge me like that? And they do that because the title Hebrew Israelite have such a bad name with it because it's affiliated with so many cult members and camps and groups that engage in harassing women on the streets, disrespecting white people, disrespecting black people, you name it. They just be going off on people. And they love to argue with women who wear pants and they call the white man the devil. And it's like, why would I want to be a part of that? I didn't sign up for that. I thought I signed up to follow the Most High. I thought I followed the Most High in spirit and truth. I thought that's what the mission was, so that I could repent of my sins, keep the commandments, so that the Most High can pretty much wrap this whole thing up. But it's not like that in the Hebrew community. It's like a religious show. And I don't want to be a part of that. And I've been attacked, slandered. They lied on me, manipulated my words, twisted my words in hopes to make people think negative of me because of my decision. My decision is my personal decision because I still follow the Most High. I don't see exactly what the problem is. But the way they shame you when you leave the cult is they'll say you gave up your birthright. That's the main thing they're going to now say is you gave up your birthright. And here's another one. They'll say, how could you say you no longer identify as a Hebrew Israelite? That's like saying you're no longer black. But see, there you go. Why would we have to keep saying I'm a Hebrew Israelite when we know what we are already? That makes no sense. If you know you're black, I don't got to keep coming around black people and saying, well, I'm black. So if I'm black and that man is black, but he don't follow the Bible, he don't identify as a Hebrew Israelite, but he's still black. You know that, right? But he don't identify as a Hebrew Israelite because he don't follow you. So what really is the big significance of repeating over and over that you are a Hebrew Israelite other than the fact that you have a religious system that you follow? No different than Christianity. It's like when you see a person who's a believer and you ask, are you a Christian? They say, yes, I'm a Christian. Well, when you see a black man who is a so-called Israelite, I'm not talking about no nationality. I'm not talking about no bloodline. The title Hebrew Israelite is what you call yourselves because you're in a religious cult. Own it, because that's exactly what it is. Because nobody recognizes you as a group of people. They don't recognize that as your nationality. It is not in no historical records that you are recognized by the United States as the biblical Hebrew Israelites. It's not established in the record books. So when you call yourself that, they don't see you as a nationality. Only you do. They see you as a religious cult. And that I don't want to be a part of. You know, I really don't want to be a part of that. It's not healthy, and it's not good for family purposes, business, interacting with people, being social with people. Even when it comes down to even striking up conversations, it's like it's a turnoff. It ruins opportunities, you know, because people are going to begin to target you as if though you're one of those hateful Israelites that stand on the corners, or those hateful Israelites that be online harassing people and, you know, just attacking them all day. You know, that's what they're going to assume you are. All right. So that being said, guys, if you want to check out my first video in regards to why I no longer identify as a Hebrew Israelite, you can find that on my Ringo TV Reactions channel. You can check that out. I'm going to actually do a part 2 and speak more in on that. I wanted to actually put this video here on this platform because I haven't put content here in a minute. And I want to try to get a little more active on this platform with more content. But it's very difficult to do. But I'm going to try to commit to doing that more often. And I'm going to try to keep the video shorter as well. I don't even know how long this video is. Probably more than 30 minutes. At the same time, I just wanted to share, you know, my thoughts about this. Again, I am fully aware of bloodline. So please don't waste my time with bloodline shenanigans. Don't waste your time telling me I gave up my bloodline or I gave up my whatever you want to compare me to. Like, stop. Just admit that you're in a cult, you're a hate group, and you don't love your own people. And for me personally, I have not really experienced seeing the Hebrew Israelite community show love towards one another. I just haven't seen that. I haven't seen it. I've seen nothing but hate. And the hate that I've seen, it's like, it's really bad. It really is bad. I mean, I've heard some of the most evil things come out of the mouths of people who claim they're biblical Israelites. And I'm saying to myself, there's no way these could be people of the Most High. It was like they say very mean-spirited things. And I'm like, whoo, that's horrible, man. This can't be true. So it made me realize that this is the best possible decision I ever made in my life. And I'm really at peace about it. That's the thing that it's amazing how much peace I have by no longer identifying as a Hebrew Israelite. It's very, very uh, warm, and it feels better because now I'm able to communicate with people. I can share Jesus Christ with people. I don't have to have any barriers, between me and the person. I could just speak to them, share the truth, and, see where people are in their walk with God, because that's what really matters. Calling yourself a Hebrew Israelite won't make you come to the kingdom. It won't make you partake of the tree of life found in Revelations, where it says, to him that overcometh will he grant access to the tree and, walk through the gates. If you're not a person that overcame your sins and the issues of this life, you're not going to make it in. So that's what's on my mind. Making it in is more important than having these titles. Like, I don't identify as no Christian, and I don't identify as no Hebrew Israelite. I don't follow religion. Religion is of the devil. Religion comes from a word called religio, which means to hold back and keep from making progress. So when people are in religion, they're under religio, which means to hold them back, stop them from making progress. And that's what religion does. Religion is set up to make us fight. It makes us argue doctrine. It makes us waste a heck of a lot of time. And then it just keeps us back. We're not able to make progress. And that's exactly where the Israelite community is. They're being held back because of the religious nature of the cult. And of course, a lot of them are not going to admit that it's a cult, but it's a cult. It definitely is. A lot of the men are very militant, very racist towards their own. We struggle with a lot of internalized racism. That's one of the biggest problems I've seen in the Israelite community is internalized racism, where they attack their own. And I'm like, if there's any group of people that should be getting along in today's culture, it should be biblical Israelites, right? But it's not that way. It really is not that way. And I just had to make my decision, guys. So I'm going to continue with the Most High, continue to study the scriptures, and do the right thing. At the same time, identifying as a Hebrew Israelite, that's over. I don't want to be identified with hate, because the messages that I preach and teach, especially biblical topics, it's filled with love. It's filled with grace, so that the listeners and the hearers are able to come up in their knowledge. And I find that when you are a Hebrew Israelite, it's as if though the community don't expect you to talk to no other ethnic groups. They expect you to just, focus on your own people. And I'm like, it's kind of selfish if you ask me. It's like, I don't think that's what the Messiah wanted. The Messiah wanted us to go all in the world and preach this gospel, and it's just sad what I'm seeing. It's like we just became religious people. So that's all I'm going to say, guys. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think about the video. Rate, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next video, man. And I'll keep you posted. I'm going to be doing more content similar to this and more. So yeah, man, it is what it is. So hey, y'all have a blessed day. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Ringo TV Raw. And it is what it is, guys. Talk to you later. Peace.